what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, I'm BritanyRaquell. How you doing? So today we're filming a very exciting video. It's like my favorite thing to watch on people's YouTube channels is their foundation routine. I don't know, I just love seeing like the big transformation. But yeah, that being said, we're doing my foundation routine today. It's nice and full coverage. I'm going to show you how I cover my acne and stuff, what I've been loving for every day, and I'm also going to be using all the products that I talked about in my favorites video. So if you haven't seen that, I will have it in the cards right here so you could watch that first. But I'm going to be using all that stuff so I could show you what it looks like in action. And yeah, this is my face. You like? It doesn't look the best, but this is what I do to, like, you know, I'm able to walk out of the house and feel a little bit more confident. But yeah, with that being said, if you guys want to see my foundation routine for oily combo, skin, acne prone, that kind of thing, then go ahead and keep watching. Okay guys, please excuse my wet hair. I just got out of the shower, but the first thing I'm going to do is prime under my eyes using my Becca, what's it called? Anti-Fatigue Under Eye Primer. And I just apply this with my fingers. Okay, and then I just go in with my face primer. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer Primer Plus Moisturizer. And I just apply this all over. Ooh, feels so nice. And then I'll just go ahead and let these primers kind of soak in, and while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and do my brows, and then I'll just jump back into my face routine. And so I'm going to go ahead and do my brows off camera, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, now that brows are done, I'm going to go ahead and start correcting under my eyes. And for that, I like to use this Becca Under Eye Corrector in the shade Medium to Deep. And so what I like to do with this is go in with a pretty dense brush. This is just a shadow brush from Real Techniques, but I like to use it for this just because it packs on a lot of the corrector. And I'll just tap it onto where I have those veins under my eyes. In your case, if you don't have like veins and you want to correct your dark circles, you'll just do the same thing but over your dark circles instead. And so I'll just tap that on there, and as you can see, I'm putting a lot on. And I just like to let this kind of soak in and really like stay there for a little while. So I just like pack it on where I have the greenish, bluish veins. And as you can see, it has lots of like luminosity to it. It's very light reflecting, which I like because it makes the under eyes look really hydrated. It kind of acts as a primer as well, like under the concealer, just because it does have like that luminosity to it. And I'll pop some right here sometimes as well. Just depends how much time I have. Okay, so like I said, I like to let this kind of soak and like marinate into my skin so it doesn't like blend away as easily. And so while that's soaking in, I'll go ahead and clean up my brows. And for that, I like to use this Nars Soft Matte Concealer, and I have mine in the shade Vanilla 2. I would like to pick this up in a darker shade for like spot concealing and stuff like that, but since I do have it in this lighter shade, I like to just use it to clean up my brows, and then I'll just use it on this like flat tart brush. And I don't really carve them out that crazy. I just kind of clean up just a little bit because I don't like for my brows to look super unnatural. And I'll just go right under them. Okay, and then I'll just take whatever's left on the brush and go right here on the outer part, just because I tend to get a little messy right here when it comes to filling in my brows. This brush isn't super precise, but like I said, I don't carve them out like crazy. And then I'll just go right here and clean it up a little bit, just to kind of square it off. Okay, then I like to go in with my foundation. I've really been loving this one lately. This is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear 24-hour foundation. It has SPF 15, so I like this for like every day when I know I'm going to be out. And I have it in the color 230 Buff Warm. And it does come with a pump and everything, so I just apply that to a damp sponge. Today I'm just using my beauty blender, just because my Real Techniques one and also my Equal Tools and my Morphe one, they're all like ripping. That's one thing I don't like about like dupe beauty blenders, is I feel like they rip so easily. and faster than the Beauty Blender, so I just went back to my Beauty Blender for now. I do need to buy another Beauty Blender as well because this one's kind of old. But yeah, I'll just apply my foundation with this. And I won't blend out this corrector yet. I still want it just to marinate under my eyes for a little bit. So I just apply my foundation all around it. So this foundation is pretty thin, so you could get a nice light layer, or you could build it up like I like to do and get a really full coverage. As you can see, it covers really nicely. I'm breaking out a whole bunch on my forehead, some places over here, and then my scars are just really bad down here, so I need lots of full coverage. Okay, so that's what this foundation looks like after one layer. Now I'm going to go in certain areas to go ahead and add more coverage, like the center of my face and a little bit up here and on my chin. Okay, so now that the corrector has been marinating for a little bit, I go ahead and just blend out the edges with my Beauty Blender and that foundation. As you can see, it really helps counter-correct those veins under my eyes. Okay, and that's pretty much it for foundation. Now I'm going to go ahead and go into concealer. One that I've really been loving, you guys know because I showed it in my favorites video, is the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer. And I switched between this and the Tarte Shape Tape. I love both, to be honest. This one is in the color Light Warm. And with this one, since it does dry really fast, I like to go one at a time with it. And so I'll just like do that triangle under my eye, and then I'll also use it as an eye primer. And then I'll just go ahead and blend this side out and do the same thing to this eye. And I'm just blending it right on top of that corrector. And I'll blend it all the way down to right here. I just want to keep it mainly in the center of my face to go ahead and highlight. Now this oxidizes really bad on your hands, and I was really scared it was going to oxidize really bad under my eyes. It does dry a little bit darker, but it's not as bad under your eyes as on your hands, so it still stays highlighted throughout the day. But if you are looking for a shade, I would go a shade lighter just in case. It just gives such a beautiful finish, and I feel like it really blurs out these pores. I don't know if you could tell on camera, but it just looks really flawless. Okay, so I also like to use this to highlight the center of my face. Hopefully it could help us cover that big scar we have going on. And then down the nose. And the chin. As you can see, it has amazing coverage. Okay, and one thing I've been doing is going under my contour with this concealer as well, and it's really been helping my like contour game. It just makes it look nice and cut. Okay, and then I'll just blend this concealer downwards. And then to get rid of this harsh line, I just take the butt of the sponge and blend it out. Okay, and do the same thing on this side. Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and lock this all in place and set it. And so for under my eyes, I've really been liking the Becca Under Eye Brightening Setting Powder. So I'm just going to use this to go ahead and set my concealer. And so I'll make sure all my creases are gone first with the Beauty Blender. I hate when I see people literally on YouTube, but they'll be like doing something else and then they'll just go and set their under eye concealer even though it's like already creased, and then they basically just set all those creases into their like under eyes, and it just looks so bad. And I'm like, girl, you should have blended it out first, because once you set it, there's like no way of like getting rid of those lines because you basically set them into your skin. And so yeah, you would have to start your makeup over. So you just want to make sure that all those lines are gone first. And then I kind of just leave my eye like that and go right in and set it. And then I could relax. And it just gives a hint of brightness. It's not too bright. But I love the way this looks under my eyes. It just looks like a filter. And then I just do the same exact thing to the other eye. Okay, now that my under eyes are set, now it's time to bake. And yes, I bake every single day. I just feel like it makes such a difference in your skin. It really gets rid of those pores, makes sure your foundation's locked in place all day. I do have oily combination skin, so I get mainly oily like right here around my nose. Everywhere else is pretty normal, so I am allowed to bake every day. If you have really dry skin, you might not be able to, but if you do have really dry skin, I recommend the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder, just because this is not drying at all on the skin, and so I really like it for that. And maybe you could bake with this even though you're dry. I don't know, just try it out. Whatever works for your skin is what you gotta do. So usually I'll use this one on an everyday basis if I'm just going to work for like 5 hours or something, if I have nothing big going on. I'm probably going to use this one today just because I'm going grocery shopping, but if I do have a special occasion or I'm just going to be wearing my makeup for a lot of hours, I go in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder just because this one does control oil a little bit better, because this one is not as drying, so it doesn't control oil as much as this one, but it's still really good. I love both of them, but like I said, today I'm just going to go in with my Too Faced one. Okay, so the first place I'll go in and bake is right here where I have the largest pores. Okay, and then I like to go right here where I have these laugh lines. I also like to bake my chin just because I have a lot of scars and I feel like it really smooths it out right there. Plus, I feel like we touch our chin a lot throughout the day just by like leaning and stuff. So I really been liking baking my nose where I would contour. It's really been helping my nose look a little bit more contoured without having to try that hard. But usually I use a sponge like my Eco Tools one where it has like a flat edge, so it makes it super easy. But like I said, these been ripping on me a lot, so I'm just gonna try to do it with my beauty blender. Wish me luck. But I'll usually just like cut my nose right there. I try to go a little bit more in to make my nose look a little bit more slim. And then I just kind of like cut it off right here. Looks a little crooked today. It's hard when you don't have like a straight edge. We'll just leave it. That's fine. Okay, and last but not least, I like to bake right here in the center of my forehead because that's where I like to get oily as well, and I have large pores. But I also like to bake any scars or scabs that I have from acne. And you're probably like, why would you bake that area? And I like to bake it just because, for one, usually they have a lot of oil because like it's a pimple, and so this really helps to dry it out while you're wearing makeup. And also I like to do it just to make it look a little bit lighter and smoother. And so if I do have like an acne mark, because usually I don't bake up here, but since I do have that acne mark right there, I'm just going to bake right on top. Because I feel like since they are a little bit more oilier, they're kind of shiny, and so they make it more noticeable, if you know what I'm saying, that you're breaking out. So I just like to pack on the powder right there. And then I'll also go ahead and set this concealer on my lid. Sometimes I'll use just my face powder like I am today, or I'll just go in with a skin tone eyeshadow. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. Alrighty then. Okay, and so now that I look crazy, oh wait, I forgot to bake my contour. I also bake right under my contour, kind of like what we did with the concealer. So while this is baking into my face, this is when I will go in and go ahead and do my eyeshadow look. But I'm going to go ahead and do my eyes off camera, and then I'll be right back to show you the next steps that I do. Okay guys, eyeshadow is done. Now moving back to the face. So what I like to do is buff away this bake with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Medium Golden. Just so I don't look too washed out, I just dip my brush into there and just kind of buff it away. And then for my nose, I like to tap, just because if I rub, it kind of like messes up my foundation on my nose. So I just tap it. And then I just go back to buffing away the bake on my forehead. Okay, now it's time to add some more life back into my face. So what I usually do is go in with contouring, and I use my Nars Laguna bronzer. And for contouring, I like using this Morphe R10 brush. So I'll just go into there and just chisel out right here where I have that line from the concealer. Alright. Okay, I don't do it that much. I just do it to where you could kind of see a shadow going on there. Okay, and then I just take a smaller brush. This is an eyeshadow brush, but it has like a little point on the end. It's the Morphe M573. And I take the same bronzer and I just go and contour my nose in the same spots where we put that baking powder. And this is just what I've been doing, kind of a lazy girl contour, because I don't really know how to contour my nose that well. Like, I don't know how to snatch the nose. So this is just something I do to kind of add color so my nose doesn't look too bad. I just go like right under here, right on that line. As you can see, this powder is not all the way matte. Like, it gives my nose a little bit of luminosity, which is good because it looked kind of flat before. And then I even like to take it to right here so it kind of connects with everything. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just do it, you know. Okay, and sometimes I'll even just go right here in the middle a little bit. And that's pretty much it for my nose contour. And then to go ahead and warm up this face, I take my Anastasia bronzer in the color Saddle, which is this color right here, and I'll take it on a more fluffier brush like this. This is the Morphe it's the Morphe R2. I'll just dip it on both sides and tap off the excess, and then just kind of blend out that contour we have going on. Kind of blend it down the neck too, because I always get my foundations a little bit too dark for my skin, so I feel like my neck's always light. I also apply some to my forehead, kind of buff it into my hairline, because as you can see, my hairline's like really light. Not too much, because then I could tend to look dirty. I feel like I always put more when I'm filming because I look paler on camera, but in real life I be tan. Okay, and for blush, I've really been liking this one from Laura Geller. It's in the color Tropic Hues. It's kind of like a peachy spring type of blush with some pink in there. And I just use my IT Cosmetics blush brush. It's like an angled brush. Just pop that on my cheeks. Okay, and then whatever's left on the brush, I go on the tip of my nose. Kind of adds a highlight without having to add a highlight. And it adds some color. I feel like my contour looks a lot stronger on camera than it does in real life. In real life, it's not that crazy looking. Okay, now when I'm feeling extra insecure, I like to go in with my MAC Studio Fix powder. It's a powder foundation. It's in the color NC20. And I'll just go in with this on a little small brush. What can I use? A Morphe brush. It doesn't have a number. I guess I got it like in a set, and I'll just go over my pimple scabs once again. I just do this when I'm feeling extra insecure about them showing and I really want them to be covered. Just because all those powders could tend to move around everything. So for extra coverage, just go over it. Since this one's like in the bronzer area, I kind of can't do that because it makes it lighter. So just go back over it with my bronzer. But that's pretty much all I do. I mean, it's still showing, which kind of bothers me, but what am I gonna do? Now for highlighting, I've really been liking my Decay X Kristen Leanne highlighting palette. You guys know this was all in my favorites video, but what I do is I get this Morphe highlighting brush. It's in the color M510. Color? Did I say color? It's in the the Morphe brush I'm using is the M510. I don't know what I was talking about. And I just like swirl it in all these highlights. And just highlight with this beige. Super pretty. This pimple wants to come out too. No, stay covered. Alrighty, and then I'll take some on the bridge of my nose, not so much the tip because we kind of already highlighted with the blush. Plus, I don't like to put straight up highlight right there because that's where my nose gets really, really oily. So I'll just do it on the bridge right there. Then also right here on the Cupid's bow. Now, sometimes I'll highlight like up here, but since I'm breaking out and everything, I don't really want to because I don't want to exaggerate anything up there. Okay, then I'll go ahead and set this all in place with my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. And I put a lot of setting spray just because I put a lot of powder and my face could kind of look dry afterwards, and this just helps everything lock into place and not look dry. And so I put a lot of this. Okay, and when I'm feeling extra fancy while I have that setting spray in, I'll go in with the lightest shade. Gonna just pop it right there. Okay, and also what I've been doing, only on extra days, because I don't necessarily want to do this when I actually have to wear my makeup for a long time, because this makes me oily because I'm oily combo like I said. But it makes the powder on your face look so nice and it makes your highlight pop. So I like to do it on days where I'm just going to be wearing it for a little while. This is the TATCHA Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I have like my miniature one. I don't really use this that much because like I said, I'm oily, but I'll just cover my eyeshadow because this stuff will mess up your eyeshadow because it has oil in it. So just cover your eyeshadow. I got it in my mouth. I got it in my mouth. And I just spray my cheeks. And this stuff does come out really blotchy. I don't know why nobody else has mentioned that, but this spray is super blotchy. So I'll just go back in with my beauty blender and tap it in before it dries so it doesn't look blotchy on the skin. I can't believe I ate that. How much did that cost? That stuff's expensive, so I just ate like money. I ate money. But yeah, now my face looks not so dry and it looks good. Okay, so while that's setting in, I'm gonna go ahead and set my eyebrows in place. Also finish up my eye makeup and my lipstick and everything, and then I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. What do you guys think? Do you like? Do you like? So yeah, this is pretty much what I do every single day, especially when I want a nice full coverage, I'm breaking out, that kind of thing. But yeah, I hope that you guys liked it. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did so I can know to keep updating you guys with my foundation routine if I change anything, or in my highlight and contouring routine as well, because I did show you guys that too. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. Oh, I did want to tell you guys to follow me on Instagram because I've been posting every single day on there. I'm so proud of myself. But I've been posting like outfit of the days, like also like my workout clothes and stuff. And then I've also been posting like makeup pictures, like full detail, like everything listed in the description. I'm really trying to up my Instagram. I'll have a little screenshot right here so you can see kind of like what I'm going for and what it looks like. I think that you guys would like it, so make sure to follow me on there. And also my Snapchat, everything is the same as my YouTube. It's all BritanyRaquell. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new. My name is BritanyRaquell, and I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so 3 times a week. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in my next one. Bye! And darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back. I've been broke as hell, catch the check and bounce back. Okay, starting over. Oh, no, leave me alone, me on my own, no. I cut a bitch. Hello? By me, oh, say, bye.